Some towns have history. Some towns have secrets. This one has a body count. An entire generation grew up visiting these same cursed streets where prom queens vanished, cheerleading tryouts are deadly, and feral, murderous teenagers destroy each other one paperback at a time. I'm Samantha.
I'm Jeffy.
And this is the Spooky Frog Podcast. Tonight we're talking about the Fear Street universe.
Fear Street!
Yes, so we're using One Evil Summer as sort of like our gateway drug, and just sort of digging into how R.L. Stine built a whole teen horror empire. So it's not just one book, it's an entire cursed ecosystem.
Let's assume that Jeffy had no idea about R.L. Stine, Fear Street, or Goosebumps.
So you've been living under a rock. You were just born yesterday.
Well, I understand that it was a thing.
Yeah.
And I always took my Scholastic bucks and I hid them in my sock drawer, and I went to Half Price Books and I bought CDs.
Right.
Right?
I was a Scholastic bookstore geek, and
yeah.
I filled out my little paper and did my whole thing.
The only time I ever bought those is when I was at the highlights age. Because I did like the highlights books.
I did like highlights.
And I would do highlights adults. I hear that that's a thing.
Is it?
And I want to get involved.
I would totally be down for that. Highlights magazine was awesome. That and like zoo books.
Sure.
I was really into the zoo books too.
But what came first? Was it Goosebumps or Fear Street?
So the funny thing is that Fear Street came first, which you'd think that because Goosebumps is the sort of quintessential young adult horror that we hear everything about, you'd think that that would come first in the entire universe. But actually, Fear Street came first, and the first Fear Street book was published in 1989, and that was with the New Girl, and just sort of like took off from there. And then Goosebumps didn't launch until 1992. So it's funny because everyone thinks that Goosebumps came first, and it didn't. And it's interesting because everything sort of exploded around that same time period where young adult horror just took off like crazy.
Sure.
And
okay.
The cool part is...
And was that the catalyst? Because there was stuff before that.
Right. So we're talking where we're doing throwback, where this really started in the 70s. So like 1973, Carrie came out. And that kind of started this sort of teen horror thing, where then you also had in 74 or 5, you had I Know What You Did Last Summer, the book. And then all of a sudden you had the slasher genre that exploded. And the jump from Stephen King and the Lois, I forget her last name, for Lois Duncan from I Know What You Did Last Summer in the 70s to young adults that are now in slashers was like a very direct line. And that's where this really took off, where all of a sudden it was teenagers were the protagonists, and you didn't have just adults in this very like strict like horror sense. It was young adults that were being the stars, and they weren't the stupid ones, right? It was the adults that were the stupid ones. And it kind of threw the entire genre on its head and brought about this entire new aspect of young adult horror and really made it accessible to everyone. And like the Scholastic book fairs, that made it accessible. We're talking mall culture. We're talking, paperbacks had really just started to become really accessible too.
The Book It.
Yeah, the Book It. And we're going to do that too.
Mm-hmm. The Spook It.
The Spook It. We do need to do a pizza.
Yeah.
We have to do pizza.
Yeah. Like, you got to figure something out.
We'll have to do like a pizza coupon, or we'll do like a pizza date or something.
I'd at least like to get, maybe we could do a pizza meetup.
Yeah.
But then we'd give everybody a sticker.
Yeah.
Like a Spook It
hey,
sticker.
You did it. Yeah.
You did it.
Like the Mr.
Congrats.
Yuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Book It.
Mr. Book It. No, the Book It had like the open book and everything. And then you got the the free.
Yeah. We
Pizza
made that
Hut.
design. I'm very excited about this
I
design.
really want to do it. And maybe we can do some buttons too if you pay for it.
Ooh.
No, we'll make something happen. So, this was a series that I was obsessed with as a kid, like absolutely obsessed.
Was this your gateway drug?
Yeah. Well, yes. I was always kind of into like really weird, spooky stuff. But this was where all of a sudden I was a library kid. And I was a Scholastic Book Fair kid. And so I started out in private school and we didn't have the Scholastic Book Fairs. So I was reading just like regular adult literature until like 5th grade or like research books. So I'd be doing like a book report on bats. And so you get like your Encyclopedia Britannica. And it wasn't until I transferred to private or public school where it was like, oh, you have these book fairs and you can see all this other stuff. And it's more mainstream and there's some different elements to it. And you can get like your poster of the cat hanging on. And like then you have like the Ferrari poster and you can get some erasers. But it was like, hey, let me like take my $1.25 and put my little check marks on all the things I want and save up my money and go get like a paperback. And it would just be delivered and you could read it. And then I'm at the library. I'm like, they'll let me check out as many of these as I want at the same time. So I'd literally leave. There was one point I remember checking out 10 Fear Street and Christopher Pike novels at one time.
How many are there?
So for R.L. Stine, he has, in Fear Street itself, it's at least 153. There's some debate on what counts as Fear Street or not. So there's some offshoots too. So you've got where there's like the cheerleaders saga, which is a whole separate kind of like parallel in the story where there's 2 sisters that join the cheerleading team and everybody starts dying. There's like 5 books in that. There is Fear Park, which was like amusement park horror. There's a couple books in that one too.
And how many of these have you read?
I've probably read a good chunk of them, but when they first, existed. So, once I
They've
kind of
continued now?
They're done now. There was a reboot in like 2010. But that was kind of it. I think maybe even 2018 there might have been like 1 or 2 things until the Netflix movies. So we did get some movies out of this. There's also some Goosebump.
Jack Black, right?
Yeah, and there's some Goosebump movies too. We do get like a Sadie Sink is in the Fear Street movies. So we get Max from Stranger Things. There's a couple other really good like younger child actresses of the time that are in the Fear Street movies as well. I actually liked them. I thought they were good. Like they were not like, hey, this is following one particular book. It was, this is the universe and we're going to play off of the lore that started the universe and give like a visual representation of it. Whereas the Goosebumps movies were more standalone and frankly not good.
Those are the ones where Jack Black is R.L. Stine, and they're in like a weird mansion.
Yes.
I've seen trailers. I've never seen it.
Yeah, and I saw they were fine. They weren't good. They were fine.
Okay.
They weren't. I'll still watch them. The Fear Street movies, though, I actually did enjoy. Like, those actually went straight up slasher, but with some history to it. So there actually is some history and some lore to this entire universe. And this is like proto-cinematic universe. Like, we didn't have a cinematic universe for every single thing yet. This was sort of the introduction of we can actually have many different characters and many different stories that are within the same area, but they're not all the same people. They're not all the same stories. Like, we've got different offshoots and spin-offs but the core, kind of like Derry. So we've got kind of a Derry thing going on where it's not just one single element, but there is a common thread that goes throughout all of these. And I do like that the movies actually play to that and play to the history and the lore behind what made Fear Street.
So Fear Street is its own thing. Goosebumps is its own thing.
Correct.
Neither.
They don't Lady Hawk it at all. Like they don't meet at all. I'm going to use the Lady Hawk reference until somebody actually gets it besides you. Because, like, I use that reference way too often and I just get the blank stares.
Sure.
Like, just meh. So,
Lady Hawk it.
Yeah. So they're completely different universes. Goosebumps sort of reminds me more of, do you remember Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark on Nickelodeon?
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Are You Afraid of the Dark? Yes, because Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark was that really like the gross kind of like creepy illustrations and everything.
Was it?
Oh yeah, they were terrifying.
I don't think about that.
Oh, okay.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
That was
a big thing for me on Nickelodeon.
Yes.
I watched a lot of those and I ate a lot of cheese sticks and mozzarella sticks and
oh, we had those little mozzarella sticks. Do you remember those at Furch's?
Mm-hmm.
Because the little ones, okay, Yes, you can
The
have
bread
a,
to cheese ratio.
right.
I'm with you.
You can have a big long one. You can have the flat ones, like the puck o cheese or whatever you want to call it.
The plank.
Right, the plank.
I feel like the plank is the best way.
The plank is better, but those little tiny little cheese nubs that we had back in the 90s at Furch's, and I think we had them at high school too,
Sure.
where it was just like a little pocket of cheese, and you didn't have like a giant mass of it, so you couldn't just get overly full.
I like the plank.
Yeah, at Chili's.
Yeah.
The Chili's plank.
We
went on a Chili's adventure.
Well,
the modern Chili's adventure, which was
so I get obsessed with these videos on YouTube.
Really?
We're gonna get a little sidetracked here.
We should.
I get obsessed with these videos on YouTube that are about businesses, and it's all about the business practices. And you know this.
Are you gonna tell them about racks?
Yeah,
you should tell them about racks.
Right. So that's a
we'll
great example.
We'll do the Chili's, but then I want you to tell them about racks.
Yeah, Mr. Delicious. So if you don't know what Mr. Delicious is, you need to do some research, because there was a business that was basically an Arby's kind of, I don't know who came first, but it was an Arby's ripoff.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're going to do roast beef sandwiches. And they were doing Mr. Delicious as this character. It was a middle-aged divorcee who was having some problems. I think he just had a vasectomy.
Oh, that's right.
This was all in the this is all in the advertising of this character that came out. It was absolutely absurd.
Which I love that everything was just completely unhinged at that point in time.
Yes. And then you get into the deep, do a deep dive into Dr. Pepper. You know, the Waco drink that ultimately became Dr. Pepper, and the history behind it, the name, them suing Coca-Cola, them taking people to court for bottling rights. It's madness. Anyway, I get obsessed with these videos.
Yeah.
And I don't remember why I came to this. Not even a little bit. Don't know how I got here, but I'm telling you about this.
Chili's. It was Chili's.
Oh, Chili's. That's
we
right.
went to Chili's.
Yeah. So
against my better judgment, I was like, please, let's not do this.
I dragged most of our
lunch table
from high school.
Yeah.
Here in the year of our Lord, 2026.
No, this was last year.
Oh yeah, 2025, 24 even.
Oh, was it 20?
Might have been 24.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we took them to Chili's because there was a video out that said Chili's is
back and awesome.
Well, it was the only chain restaurant that had not subsided.
Okay.
Because all of the other restaurants, all the dining in,
right.
Not the fast casual,
Applebee's,
but all the Applebee's. All of these companies are folding. Olive Garden is slipping a little. Well, that's one of them that's staying, but they're slipping a little bit. Red Lobster slipping a lot.
Well,
you've
got
what
happened there.
That
was a whole thing.
I do know what happened there because I am obsessed with these videos.
Yes,
and it's like these companies have really interesting backstories and back histories of how they came about. And I just love to know. The 99% invisible in our world is what I am probably most interested in. Where did the spoon come from? Where did it come from?
Yeah.
You take that for granted every day of your life. You have no idea where it came from. I want to know. I want to know why socks are socks. You tell me why socks are socks, man.
And I love that too. And that's why I really was excited to do this episode, this series of books, the whole universe this is really the foundation of that 80s and 90s young adult horror, that this is where we went from things not being accessible to mass market paperbacks and having everyone being able to just go and buy a cheap paperback and get those stories. So there's some really good history there. And I love that too. And I mean, even going back to Racks, watching all of those videos when we were driving down a couple of years ago in our magical road trip.
And with Buc-ee's.
And with Buc-ee's.
If she ever hears about Buc-ee's again.
So our first...
She called it a gas station, guys. She did. She's like, it's just a gas station. And I'm like, you don't understand magic.
It's a quick trip with more branded items and less cheese.
I'll flip this table. I'll flip it.
We were on a magical mystery tour. Okay, so we did have the magic brisket, but they just give you a cup of brisket and no fork. And so you're just doing brisket shooters, which I'm not necessarily opposed to.
Yeah.
Brisket was one of the only things I could actually eat at Food and Frost. So I had my wisdom teeth out
Oh, that's
on both
right.
sides.
I forgot
And
about the no
so
chewing.
I couldn't really chew anything. I'm still on like the soft food, like, baby food kind of diet.
Mhm.
And we went to Food and Froth because I wasn't going to miss it. So Food and Froth is the largest fundraiser event for the Milwaukee Public Museum. And they are changing the museum to a different building. They're changing the whole thing. This was the last one, and we've been going for several years now.
This was our fourth?
Fourth, I think?
Third?
Yeah, something like that, where we've been going
Third.
Yeah.
Third.
And then you've gone once more before that, I think, too.
Oh, like 7 times.
Yeah.
They've been doing it since 98.
And this has become just tradition where you go to the museum and they've got all these different beer and seltzer and wine and cider vendors, and then a bunch of local restaurants that do little food samples. And I couldn't chew anything, but I'm like, I'm not missing this event. So I'm just like gumming a piece of brisket for like half the night because one of the vendors had brisket, and then Pedro's empanadas, those I could do too.
Those are all right. Yeah.
I love Pedro. I love
He seemed
Pedro.
like a really cool dude.
He's such a sweetheart. Like, and his empanadas are great. Like,
I feel terrible because I'm not an empanada fan.
I'm usually not, but his are really good. So he had like a spinach and artichoke empanada, and I'm like, this is actually really
the
cool.
filling was great.
Yeah.
I could do without the crust.
And I'm
a
with you.
pasty guy. So you bring me an empanada and I'm
you're like,
upset that it's not a pasty.
See, I'm not a pastry person, so I could do without the puff pastry or any pastry in general around
I agree with
something.
that too.
Just give me the filling and I'll just scoop it.
I like a pasty because it's very thin. It's paper thin. It's like eating a paper bag but it's a little more delicious.
My only caveat to my dislike of like a pastry thing, because this isn't really pastry, it's more dough, is Jimmy's Grotto panzeratas.
Oh, Ponzi.
Yeah.
Yeah, panzerata.
Those things are...
Fuck yeah.
You will die.
That's a deep fried pizza though.
Right,
like,
it's a deep fried pizza.
Like,
so
if you want to have a heart attack,
if you
come on down.
Go to Jimmy's Grotto.
That's right.
In
I have a Jimmy's Grotto t-shirt. One would think I only have this t-shirt, but I have a Jimmy's Grotto t-shirt. This is literally the only t-shirt he has. That's right.
I guarantee it.
That's right. I smell like a yak because I never washed it.
I can guarantee you do not smell like a yak. I would not be here if you smelled like a yak.
I'm yakety yak.
Don't talk back. We're really dumb. We're really dumb.
I did actually put the trash out today.
That's great.
Yeah.
I saw your trash cans at
paper and the trash.
Yeah, that's nice. We're going Beatles? Really?
That was the song.
Okay.
Yakety yak. Don't talk.
You know what? You're right. I'm nervous now.
See, this is why I'm the DJ.
You know what? Because you know all the things.
Yeah, I know all the music.
I have like a playlist that I play in the gym. And that's
it's
like
the same 20 songs from when you were in high school.
Yeah.
So let me walk down. Let me walk it down. So, is there a little Marilyn Manson in there?
There's a little bit, but not much.
Yeah, just a smidge.
Just a little touch.
All right, bunch of nails.
Yeah.
9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
Right?
Physical is on.
I'm actually surprised you didn't go yesterday.
So since we went to the Chicago show, I wanted to give somebody else a chance that had not seen the show because we went to the Fragile tour.
Anna, she offered a free ticket because JJ was feeling sick.
I know.
And, oh my God, I wanted to take her up on it.
I know, me too.
I just, it might have been too loud, too much.
Yeah.
Right now.
I feel like
too soon.
We saw the show in Chicago and it was so good that I almost didn't want to touch that experience.
Everyone's saying that was so good.
Yeah.
That it
was brilliant. It was just, the show is amazing. When we went to the Fragility tour when we were in high school, that was amazing too, because you were coming right off of like the Downward Spiral kind of era.
Mm-hmm.
And this was still like very new to our generation, whereas, a little bit older than us, it had a little bit more of like the Pretty Hate Machine in that.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden you had the Fragile, but you're also having Downward Spiral stuff, and it's like gritty and dirty and muddy, and you go flying over my head because there was just the pit. Like, you're just in the pit. That's all there was back then. There weren't seats. We didn't know what seats were. And I think I paid like $55 for my ticket.
Sure.
Which was a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
Was this 99?
99.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the tour was 2000.
Okay.
The album came out 99.
99 and then, yeah.
Yeah, the Fragile came out the same time as the double album Tori Amos. Man, what was the name of that album?
You're more the Tory person.
I am the Tory person.
I did enjoy. We had a car ride not that long ago where we were just singing Nails and Tori very loudly.
Wasn't Rin in the back
Yeah,
seat?
just
And she's
being
just like,
tortured.
no.
And I feel bad.
These
These
old people are yelling at me.
Yelling Nine Inch Nails, holding hands in the car, just
And she's just
screaming.
like, yeah.
She's like, so maybe I can stop and call an Uber.
In Indiana.
In Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're terrible people.
Yeah.
We're also old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I am very glad people got to go last night, though, because I feel like this
Real good
tour and this show is so well curated. It's got so many things that are great for new entries to Nine Inch Nails fans. My volunteer, Savea, she brought her daughter to this one last night. And her daughter's like singing along to Head Like a Hole. And I'm
That's
like, that's
awesome.
adorable. Like you're like 11 and you're just like belting this out. And I thought it was so cute.
So this is coming out around the 80s.
Yeah.
This is about when you're getting into it. This is
Mhm.
also the heat and height of the satanic panic.
Yes.
So did this get caught up in that mess?
A little bit, yeah. Mostly it was schools pushing back, and then parents themselves. The libraries didn't seem to get hit as much as like what they do now, right?
Well,
So there's
yeah,
still
but the
more of a
people
sense
who
of-
are really freaking out about satanic panic would never be caught dead in the library.
right? Yeah, they don't want
Because
to
they're not
learn anything.
intelligent,
Yeah,
smart.
right.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's more pressure now on libraries than there was then. Like libraries were still this sacred space where you could have anything and everything. So if you wanted to get the anarchist cookbook or you wanted to get like a Bible book or chicken soup for the soul, you could get all of that at your library and no one was going to flinch at you because this is where you go to get literature and get information and look up like the Encyclopedia Britannica. It was parents in general and then schools that were getting pushed back by parents because of the satanic panic, because there's a lot of occult and witchcraft elements in the lore behind Fear Street. So it's not just that it's slasher, right? Because traditional slasher doesn't necessarily have like a supernatural element to it. It doesn't necessitate a witch or an occult aspect. You can have villains, like you can have Freddy, right? Like he's a dream demon. But it's not like anybody summoned him with
a dreamy dream demon.
He is kind of dreamy.
A little dreamy.
What's funny is like, I think we brought this up before, like there's so much nowadays that's like monster smut.
Yeah.
And there's like Freddy smut.
Oh,
And
I didn't even realize that.
If you
I
think,
guess.
if you think you're too ugly to date, there's Freddy smut. You're fine. You're fine. There's somebody for you in whatever weird presentation you have. Like, there's somebody for you. But yeah, it did get hit with the satanic panic. And I mean, we did too. So when we were in high school, you know, we were Columbine kids. So we were in school when Columbine happened.
Well, we weren't Columbine kids.
Well, right. Yes. We were in school when Columbine
phrasing
happened.
is important there.
Okay. We were kids in high school when Columbine happened.
Yes.
And then they banned all trench coats.
Yeah.
Even though that had nothing to do with anything.
And they banned all Jeffies.
Well.
They got me out of there.
Yeah, they did. I did not abide by the trench coat ban. I just wore mine anyway.
Sure.
And then one time I had a friend in class that was narcoleptic and she passed out while I was just like talking to her. And they're like, well, we need somebody to go outside and like find the ambulance. I'm like, I got a coat on.
Yeah.
And they're like, fine. Could do it. And then there was like, you would get interrogated by your classmates, by your teachers. I remember being in class and the teacher hosting like this open interrogation of any of the goth kids and me getting asked like, why do you wear the dog collar?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's velvet. I like it. It feels nice. Like, so that
you're signaling to your people.
Right. Yeah.
You're finding your tribe.
Right. And
I mean, that's the answer there is you're finding your tribe.
Yeah. And
because there's other weirdos like you out there.
Right. Thank God.
And that's, yeah.
And that's you guys.
I mean, that's how we found
us.
each other.
Right. Exactly. Like we are the
It's those bat
mister.
signals that really got us together. You know what I mean?
Signal. Yeah. I mean, that's it. You know, the gay culture also had that too, where you had to have
you're signaling
very like even subtle signatures where it was like you're signaling to somebody so that hopefully somebody just sees you, but that the other people don't see you.
Right.
Because that's dangerous. And I mean, we were goth in high school when it was still like slurs and, you know, people getting beaten up. And I remember when Matthew Shepard happened, and it was not a good time. So yes, this did get caught up in that. There are a lot of occult elements. There's witchcraft in there too. And that's all your classic, like, we hate all of this and this is satanic and it's going to cause our kids to be terrible. And the other thing that these books did that I thought was really unique is that the parents and the adults are never the saviors. The kids are the saviors in these books. The kids are autonomous. They have autonomy over the direction in not only their lives, but also in the storyline. The adults are not coming to help us. The adults are wrong. The adults are stupid. The adults can't see what you are seeing. They can't see the danger. So all of the kids are just taking care of themselves. And I think that was a lot of, like, you know, the latchkey kid kind of element that we had when we were growing up is we had to really sort of parent ourselves in a lot of ways. And we were responsible for a lot of the trouble that we got into too, because we didn't want anybody else to know. It's like, take care of your own problems, like fix your own problems. And not that that's always good, but I think this was the first time where children were not expected to be completely devoted to their parents and their family. They actually had autonomy. They actually had their own thoughts and feelings. They weren't connected just to their church or their school or their family. They actually had some true depth in their characters. And I think that's what the horror genre really brought to modern society in general. And I know I like wax poetic about what horror has done to general society and how good it's been for it and how we explore different themes and everything. But the teen horror genre in itself is what changed children from being totally not their own person into you are your own human being with your own thoughts and feelings. And that wasn't represented really before. I mean, you got a little bit of that in, you had the transition in that in Carrie. So you had the transition of, you know, Carrie's mom controlled her life. There was no autonomy that she had whatsoever until it exploded. And that's what happens when you are subdued like that. And then you had, you know, some of these types of books. You had I Know What You Did Last Summer, where all of a sudden kids are responsible for their own problems and there's things that they're not being supervised on. And that's the latchkey kids too. So that's what's really interesting about this entire thing. You know, YA horror, like young adult horror, is something that just exploded in the market. And the really neat thing about it is that it was done in conjunction with the slasher movie boom. So you had VHS sort of driving this too. So before VHS, you had to go to the theater to watch your movies. So it was not as accessible. Paperbacks and VHS made horror accessible to everyone, where it wasn't before. He's coming back from beyond the beyond. But accessibility was like a big part of this. And I know you've talked about that too with Blockbuster. Like you could go to Blockbuster and you could just browse and see all the different options. Whereas before, the only thing that you could have are things that came into the theaters. And that was like, you know, a little bit more of a curated view. Whereas when you had VHS, when you had cassette tapes, when you had paperbacks finally come into view, Jeffy fixed everything. You finally had that accessibility where like you could go to the mall as a kid and go pick up like a bunch of these. You could go to the library and pick up a bunch of these. You didn't have like a big, thick tome,
right,
like Stephen King hardbacks that you did before. It was just a whole new world. And it's really interesting that once again, horror is sort of the thrust into making literature and media accessible to like the masses. And it's a big long diatribe to answer your question of did the satanic panic have some kind of play in this too?
Thanks for doing that. While I was fixing the technical difficulties that we had, the camera went on pause.
It did.
Which is never done before.
Right. So
and
who
it didn't
knows
make
what's
any
actually
damn
going to
sense.
happen?
I'm curious to see what the recording looks like.
You know what? We should put like some sort of, you know, like the do and it's technical difficulties. over
Well,
that.
you were still talking, and I think it was recording your vocals. I do.
I don't know
think
if that's
just
good or bad.
I think the screen itself just went blank.
We should replace it with some ridiculous cartoons.
Okay. All right, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what editing allows me.
Okay.
You know, I'll be real honest. I've been taking it super easy on
Well, yeah.
everything recently, just because
But you should.
yeah, I'm still feeling like I'm in recovery. I'm
You are.
tired a
That's
lot.
why. Because you are. You tried to die on us.
Yeah, I did.
Which is not, great for me.
So what? Not
Like,
ideal.
let's make you're almost dying about me. This was not good for me.
Yeah, you're gonna have to schedule this for
Yeah,
way
could you
further
maybe
out.
schedule this not during
I
prom?
was actually looking at that while I was in the gurney. I was like, okay, so when am I actually gonna die? Like 2053?
You're so totally removed from the emotion about that, which is
It's fine.
Which is funny because in the moment, I just go into triage and business mode, and I just don't. There's no time to deal with any of
When I was young,
that.
I was obsessed with vampires and living forever.
Yes, and I remember that.
And this was a big obsession.
Mhm.
And then I had an epiphany down the line that was like, why would you ever want to live forever? Number one. And number two, doesn't not living forever really make everything taste better? You know what I mean? Like when you have like a little piece of chocolate, it tastes so good. You know what I mean? Samples. The reason they give you a little taste, it tastes really good.
It's because
If you have an entire chocolate bar or an endless chocolate bar, if you had an endless chocolate bar that you took a bite and it just regrew.
See, to me, the sample is there because then you know if you want more or not. And I want more.
Eh.
I know. Well, and so I'm very I have such a different view of death because my mom was sick my entire life. And it was there was not any sort of sense that this will continue for any length of time, right? There is finite time, and sometimes it's miserable time. So I'm more concerned with, is there quality to that time? But also, I like the time. I want to have the time. Do I think that at some point, if I'm not enjoying my time, I might get a different perspective on it? Yeah, sure, maybe. But I'm not there yet.
Well, I'm having a very good time.
I've gotten a sample and I want all of it. I want more. I want to be able to keep going back to the buffet. I might take a break. I might leave. I might go for a jog, but then it's still there. I know what I like, and I know that there's options out there, and maybe they're going to put something new on the buffet, and I can try something different, and I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens.
Heh.
I know. You're like, meh.
Yeah.
And I can get that.
I'm going to get my run.
Right.
And my run's going to be this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go from a time in which a cell phone didn't exist. And those damn cords used to wrap around.
Yeah.
And they drove me crazy. And the little blowing buttons.
Were you
to a time where they're implanting the shit in your eyeball?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or it's a contact lens that you put on your eye, and you're literally trying to get pop-ups off of your eyeballs.
Which is terrifying to me. I don't like that.
Which is quite a spectrum.
That's, at that point, I think I might check out and just go into the woods.
There was a 107-year-old woman that they interviewed that lived through the very late stages of the Victorian era, all the way into
So
it was
late 1800s.
It was
or something?
18 something. I'm gonna fuck up all the dates, but she was let's just say 1870 all the way to the 70s.
Yeah,
right to 1970.
and even
where cars and they asked her, so what's different between your and
everything?
That's what she said. She said there's not a thing that's the same.
Right, and I think that's
nothing.
There besides this one sort of dip in the 1600s or something where everything sucked for a few hundred years. That's the way it is. My grandpa was born in 1922 and he died in 2018, I believe. So he was 96. He had a dirt floor and no electricity.
Sure.
You're pissing outside.
Right. You get cancer, you're dead.
Right. Yeah. There's no options. My grandma, who was his second wife, she died of pancreatic cancer, which was a death sentence at the time. Now it's not.
Right.
People cure cancer all the time. And it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fantastic. But I also want to just go in the woods and look for bugs.
Right.
Because I like bugs.
I will be fine when the ground reclaims me. I'll be fine.
I actually have written into my will that I want to be in one of those tree pods.
Yeah, that's great.
And so, like, it's actually written in. There's like a company whose like phone number I have in there and everything, where like put me in the tree pod and just like bury me in the ground. So at least I'm useful if I'm dead. This has been the Sam and Jeffy Be Real Dark Hour.
Yeah. I mean, you're on the Spooky Frog podcast.
I mean, yes. So we're going to talk about
here
death
for
once in a while.
gumdrops and cuddle bears, you're in the wrong spot to begin with. We're talking about death, baby.
I'm talking about you and me, talking about all the ways that I can die.
Yeah.
MTV?
Didn't we do that already?
We did.
Yeah, we did
I
that.
can't remember what
We're right back at it.
We're right back at it.
We're always talking about our own mortality.
Which is just, that's wild. I think life is wild.
Who do you talk to about your own mortality?
You.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Yeah. Sometimes my dad, oddly
I'm not one for small talk.
No.
I'll tell you that.
Well, except for it don't matter.
It don't matter. None of this
matters.
Well, yeah, but like none of it matters.
I'll talk to my dad about it once in a while, yeah.
Yeah.
But, he's very much like
But he's also on the cusp.
He's so
We're going to talk about it even more as we get closer to the cusp.
Oh, I know. We're going to be obnoxious.
My little brushes with death recently have made me more philosophical about it. But even when I was having that moment, it's so funny. Like, they brought me back there.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. I'm thinking that it's just blood sugar related or whatever. Right. Just like having a moment. And they're like, oh, no, sir, you're having a heart attack.
You're like, we got to go.
There was a moment in there where everyone stopped. Like, everyone was having a good time and talking. And just
because you're doing Jeffy time at the hospital.
Yeah. And then suddenly everybody shut up and started yelling different things at each other.
Which is not a good sign.
And I was just like, maybe this is the time. Maybe this is how it goes.
I mean, I did consider that too because there was so little information. Sure. And like my comfort zone is information. So I'm like, okay, there's no information. My brain instantly goes to plan for every worst scenario.
Yeah.
And just go from there. Plan for that. Hope for the best. Plan for the worst.
I'm sitting there on the gurney, just like, I hope prom goes well.
I know. And so I was like, hey, so in my head, I'm literally driving. I'm trying to like message or talk to JJ and like try and figure everything out. And in my head, I'm like driving while I'm doing all this, of course. And I'm like, so if he croaks, like, what do I do with prom?
Yeah.
But that's exactly how you'd want me to think.
Yeah.
It's like, so I know I still have to do it, but how am I going to like make sure everyone else is okay so that they can do it?
But everything is very well organized in the house.
Right.
There is a specific metal shelf that contains all of the Gothbard stuff and everything is labeled.
Right.
All of the we actually have a little bit of organization.
Oh, you're so happy
from today. Yeah, Sam found perfect tackle boxes.
Our
sticker,
our happy places organization,
and
efficiency. So we got the luggage for the shirts, and then now we've got these tackle boxes for stickers.
Yeah, and it's going to perfectly put everything in there. Yeah, it's so good.
I'm a clean merch station makes me happy.
Yeah.
That's but like it really was in my brain. I'm like, all right, well, so he's probably going to be fine, but if he isn't, I should plan for that too. And so if that happens, here's what I got to do for that.
Right.
And it's just like, and I hate sometimes having that mechanical brain where it's just, you have to just take care of it because not everyone's capable of that and not everyone should do that either. And I saw my dad do that where he was always the, take care of everything guy. And I just kind of absorbed that too, which is, a little wild.
What did your dad think about segue?
Yeah.
What did your dad think about the R.L. Stine obsession?
So, what's funny is like he just realized a few years ago that this wasn't a phase.
Like, shit, you're still going. All right. Yes.
So now, like, him and his girlfriend, like, buy me, like, skull stuff. Like, his girlfriend's lovely, and I adore his girlfriend. She's
Candy.
So fun. I love Candy. And not only do I love her, but she has brought out such good things in my dad and lets him have so much fun. But she's, like, she bought us like these wine glasses with these like skeleton hands holding them and then like these plates with watercolor skulls. And I'm like,
when normies buy you
it's adorable
goth stuff,
it's adorable.
It is adorable, but it is always the most hokey thing. And
I actually love it.
Hey,
I love hokey.
It's beautiful. I love it. I love when it happens to me.
Yeah.
You're seeing some of it in the background here.
I mean, look at this.
Is definitely hokey.
Look at this thing.
But I'll tell you, it is so funny when you get a gift from somebody who just does not get the nuance.
My dad doesn't like horror. He does like one werewolf movie though from a while back, and so he'll like text me when
Werewolf in London.
No, absolutely not. Before that, I think
Werewolf.
Jack Nicholson is in it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Wolf.
Yes. So he likes that, but like he's not into scary anything. So the fact that he's like totally down with like,
we should do an episode for your dad.
Oh, we should.
Literally just for your dad.
It's funny because like the book that I narrated.
Hey, Dad.
The book that I narrated, he's like, so can I buy it? I was like, no. I was like, you can listen to the sample that's on Audible. You are not allowed to touch or listen to anything else.
Yeah, some of the things that Sam says in there are naughty.
They're terrible.
Naughty.
They're terrible.
Terrible.
We're going to do this forever.
Terrible.
Terrible. We're doing an audiobook, and it's terrible. No, it was actually fantastic. And I listened to it. It was good. The sequel to that is actually coming out. So I have
You did a great job.
I don't know what I'm doing. But the sequel to that is coming out. I have the alpha copy of it. And so I need to do that. And then Jason Davis asked if I would narrate that one too.
That's awesome.
Totally different storyline too. So, but since we were talking about death, should we survive?
Should we survive?
Do we survive?
Shall we?
Would we survive?
I guess I would say no. And you'd say yes.
So yes and no.
I'm ready to tie it up.
The boyfriend is forever telling me, like, complaining that I can't give a straight answer. And this is true. Because there's context, right? There are no black and whites. So I gave you a 68, only because I didn't want to put 69.
I like that I am consistently dying.
You know what's funny is I was trying to get away from that, but here's the reason why. So,
I am consistently dying, though.
Right.
I mean,
eventually.
There's flaw in the fucking...
We got to get to something where, like, I'm the one that suffers. And
but I'm saying in real life, I am the one...
You know what, though? If we did, with the box and everything, I would die. I would...
Box and everything?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Are you talking about... Oh.
Yeah.
Hellraiser.
Yes, thank you. Because I would die and you'd be like, yeah, I don't care. It's pain. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, I'd probably...
I know. And I'd be like, fuck all this. But no, so you're not subtle, and that actually kind of helps in this universe. So we have Shadyside, which is the cursed town, and we have Sunnyvale, which is like the ritzy guys that are not cursed, right? And so there's a lot of lore there.
I'm reading Sam's notes, and I'm going to, and I quote, "You don't blend into quiet social manipulation very well." Yeah. That's understated. But, holy crap.
Well, so that means you're less likely to get like sort of wrapped up in some of those more like common like interpersonal jealousies that are happening because that has a lot to do with a lot of it. Like there's historical jealousies and issues, and you're not going to be part of that because nobody can kind of manipulate you into it.
Yeah.
So, but
I have my own jealousy.
Right. You can't really fly under the radar. I think that you are a Shadyside native. I think you grew up there.
Okay.
Which is good, except for the fact that you're going to be like, yeah, stuff happens here. It's weird. Yeah. Stuff happens all the time.
Stuff just happens.
Right. And so you're going to, right, you're going to be like, it don't matter.
That sounds about right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's the only problem. You're going to be like this is fine guy too many times. And that's a problem because Shadyside sort of like punishes that. It doesn't like that.
Okay.
Because it's going to
comes back. You. Yeah, it keeps coming back.
Right, exactly.
It takes it as a challenge.
And you're public and visible, and Shadyside doesn't like that either.
Yeah.
They're going to go after you. So you have a good chance of survival, but like you are really likely to become somebody's motive in this. I'm still like not so sure about myself. I think I'm a Sunnyvale transplant. And so I'm not going to like romanticize Shadyside at all. I would probably be studying it and trying to figure out like, okay, whose family did what? And like, what's the history besides this? Like, why is this house never sell? What group of friends feels like unstable? And it's social horror first. And I'm not somebody that's like really in the main groups. I'm usually kind of separated in some way by hook or crook or whatever. So I would probably stand a little bit outside of things and not be in the main action. But I also have the issue where, like, if I find out, like, some little nugget of information, I'm going to go chase it down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to chase it down completely. And I could also be the one who knows too much. But together, we have pretty good odds of survival. My caveat to that, we would survive one individual book, maybe a couple. The overall universe, though, eventually, Shady Side does get everybody in some way. So,
that's just the nature of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, nobody is safe. So we'd survive a couple books. We wouldn't do the whole thing. Quick trigger warnings. Does the dog die? It's a series where you got teenagers. So it's violence against minors by minors. Mild, like PG-13 sexual content. Like,
sure.
They're making
Kissing.
out. They're making out. I don't even think they make it to second base.
Sure.
There are sometimes some animal deaths, but they're never graphic. Again, this is PG-13. Like, it's not terrible. Sometimes things like fire, witchcraft, occult, and then bullying, too, is like a major element, too. So if those things bother you, don't do this. Shelf Neighbors. So there is a very, very good modern series called Scareville by John Ward. He's an indie author. I got to meet him last year. The Scareville series that he does.
The Clown of the Cornfield. That's Adam Caesar.
That's Adam Caesar.
Yep.
But so John Ward's Scareville series has been compared to Goosebumps all the time. He actually got to meet R.L. Stine last year. It was really cool. But like, if you want to just go YA horror that's not in like a big cinematic universe, Adam Caesar's Clown in the Cornfield. He's got a sequel coming out soon, or I think it's actually already out. He's got a Netflix movie, and then Dark Harvest came out a couple years ago on Netflix as well. That's by Norman Partridge. They're not like a big universe, but it keeps that like teen horror vibe going, which I really love. And then obviously there's the Goosebumps movies and the Fear Street movies too.
Sure.
So the only thing, if you don't like, you wouldn't like this if you want just like that high gore, like slasher, over the top, like sexploitation.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like if you need that, this isn't going to do it for you. Don't do it. So that's what I've got for that. What's coming up next?
Oh my God. So we've got Gothdad's Grimbark side quest, video dance party happening at the Hyatt. That's going to be
cool.
huge. We've got Book Movie Club, Spook It coming.
And I do
a summer read and watch.
I do, and I've got like it's literally on a bill from my dentist. I just wrote like all the books down because of who I am as a person.
I love it. So we're going to get that on a bookmark for you. I'm hoping that Q2 we can have a bookmark, we can release it, and we can start using that as some promotional.
There's some really good books on here. I know we got some great movies coming up too. What do we have coming up next for your movie club?
That is an excellent question.
I know what it is.
What is it?
Only Lovers Left Alive.
Only Lovers Left Alive. That's right. Of course.
We're keeping with the vampire theme, and this is actually one of my favorite vampire movies, so I was really excited.
I've never seen it.
Oh, okay. This is even better. We get to school Jeffy on like some Tilda Swinton
I'm
vampire
into
stuff. Like, it's really cool.
I love Tilda Swinton.
I know. She's got everything. Real quick note. Spooky Frog vendors for the book fair on May 16th. I will be sending out acceptance emails this weekend. So next week, we'll actually be announcing all of the vendors and authors that will be attending. So
awesome.
And then we'll go from there. So
yeah,
we're always doing something. Try not to die.
Yeah. Try not to die.
Try not to die.
Okay.
This has been the Spooky Frog Podcast.
Bye.
Bye.